Joined now by former chairman of the Illinois Republican Party, who's also a former state and federal prosecutor, Pat Brady, one of the friends of the program. Pat, it's good to see you. How do you think she really feels?
Yeah, well, at least she didn't put a swear word in the text, but she had to take the text machine away for a while. I think she's...
So does this cross a line? That's the question. Is there a problem with this, and is it a conflict?
It's not a conflict for Justice Thomas. I mean, she's free to do whatever stupid thing she wants to do in the text, but the bigger thing is the apparent conflict. His wife is so far out there and so involved in all this, and he's a chief justice of a justice of the United States Supreme Court, one of 9 people that decides how our Constitution is applied. They do have to behave differently, and for her to do this really, I think, undermines his credibility and the courts to a certain extent, and that's dangerous.
So what becomes of this? I mean, if you were on that committee, would you want to? Would you want to talk to her?
Yeah, I don't want to, but she's coming in.
What would you ask her? What do you?
Okay, you're sending all this stuff. You are sending things to Mark Meadows. I want to know if you're getting any hand signals from your justice husband on what to say, and if he's any way. I'm not saying he is. I'm a conservative thinker. I like his conservative philosophy. But these texts just open up the door for her getting whistled in to have to explain what these statements were all about. I mean, nobody gets access to Mark Meadows, right? You and I send a text to Mark Meadows, it's going into spam. But she's having a dialogue with the chief of staff to the president, and her husband's on the court. That's not good.
Here's another one she sent. Thank you. Needed that. Plus a conversation with my best friend just now. I will try to keep holding on. America is worth it. Now, it's known that the justice and his wife call each other their best friends. I don't know. She may have some cover here by saying she may have been talking to her best friend. But I guess my other question is, do you think anyone would have said anything about this had Thomas not voted or at least spoken out?
Voted dissent, yeah.
Right, exactly. He was the only one on the court, as I recall, who supported withholding former President Trump's presidential record.
Because he wanted to provide some guidance to the rest of the states. Now, I don't know if that's consistent with his conservative legal philosophy or not, but the fact that he knew he was going to be, at some point, probably deciding whether to hear this case, and his wife's out there throwing all this QAnon nonsense out there and all these ridiculous texts. I mean, it begs the question. It may be perfectly appropriate, but it undermines the court, and that's dangerous in a country that, in a democracy, that depends on the Supreme Court.
What happens with the justices recusing themselves? Because we heard it in just the most recent confirmation hearings with Ketanji Brown Jackson, where they asked if she would recuse herself from the Harvard-related case, and she said she would. But it's purely up to the justices, is it not, to say, I'm going to recuse myself from this case?
For the most part. I think there probably is a mechanism where if there was a real objection, one of the parties in front of the court could file an objection. It would probably be heard by another justice. I'm not sure if it ever happens. We're at the highest level of law, right? These folks know the law, and they know how they're supposed to behave, and they know that they should recuse themselves if they have an actual or apparent conflict. But it's up to them, is exactly right.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, had this come out before these cases went before the court, he would have recused himself?
Yeah, I think he would have been forced into it.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, because, again, that's not an actual conflict. His wife is free to say and do whatever she wants. There's a First Amendment that even protects stupid comments, but she can do whatever she wants. But the apparent conflict and the undermining of the integrity of that institution, which is probably one of the most important, if not the most important institution in our government, it begs the question. And if you were being judicious about it, you probably should recuse yourself.
This brings up a good point, too, Pat, and it's sort of what's become of this process. And I guess the public approval rating of the Supreme Court is at its lowest, I think, ever. But this is part of, I think, what might be going on here, including these nomination hearings and confirmation hearings. Let's hear just a little bit of what we've seen in the past.
So you're saying there's never been a case where you drank so much that you didn't remember what happened the night before, or part of what happened?
You're asking about, blackout. I don't know. Have you?
So far, she has perfected the art of non-answers, and I think she has revealed that she's evading a lot of the tough questions. I think the impact on the American people of seeing her, in effect, dodge or decline to answer will have an effect.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
So here we go. I mean, you could go back to Clarence.
I'm glad I didn't get that question back.
I mean, don't forget Clarence Thomas's confirmation hearings, right? I mean,
this is where it all started with Bork, and it was a payback for Nixon. So this goes back almost 50 years. And like, to your point, if you can't depend on the court to be objective and not partisan,
right,
that's a real damage to the institute of government.
And that's the question here. Was this a decision Thomas made for politics or for legal reasons? And I think, this is what we're talking about. These hearings have become almost more about culture wars and gotcha theater than it is about constitutional theory.
And yeah, it started, remember 30 years ago, Clarence Thomas here, and I watched every minute of it, and it was unbelievable. That was more about sexual harassment than some of the stuff we see now. But this goes back to the Bork hearing. It goes back, again, as a payback for some of the Richard Nixon stuff. But it's a bad development because all of our institutions now are under attack. The Congress, the presidency, the media, and now the judiciary. Trump started going after judges early on in the campaign. That's just a really bad development. We have to have, if we're going to have a representative democracy like we have, you have to have faith in the institutions or it doesn't work.
You've been one of my favorite guests. You've been so awesome on this show. Really, your insight.
It's just because I show up, right?
And we pay you so much, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I live down the block from you. You're the best, Joe.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
See
Golf next week, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.